And you're still with Two Girls, One Mic, Angel and Kamini, if you've just tuned in. Hurry up. And we've got Legs 11 with us now.
We do.
We're
Hey, Sue.
talking about IPL-ness.
Me.
There's Sue. There you are. Say hi again. You were
Hello.
there.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us in your salon, because Kamini and I have slowly but surely been trying out the process.
Because to be honest, the idea to be hair free forever is kind of like the end goal in life in general.
In general, I remember when I was about 13, 14, and you like imagine if I could have one wish. Like one of my wishes is like eyebrows down, hairless. Like that would be ideal.
Absolutely.
And
I think it's a big international trend now.
Yeah.
People want to be smooth. And it's not just ladies, it's the men too.
Oh, well, there you go.
I don't know how I feel about a completely smooth man.
No, but back hair maybe.
Yes,
Yeah.
fine back hair, but the whole back and chest, like, it should be a little bit furry.
Yeah,
but
I don't have a problem with a little bit of fur either. But
Yeah. I think there's moderate levels. Though.
But I think also maybe men get it on their like neckline and stuff, where their like crazy Wolverine stuff starts.
Absolutely, they get the hair on the ears, and then also they suffer a
smart.
lot with ingrown hairs, and IPL is also fantastic treatment for ingrown hairs.
Okay.
So even if you don't want to be completely bare, you can treat your ingrown hairs, reduce the amount of hair.
Okay. That's
But bare's
clever.
always good too.
But apparently the sorest thing is a male's face. The most painful
Yeah, I
thing.
think with the male's face, it's just the hair's very coarse.
And the face is
and there's
so
a lot of
sensitive.
hair.
Yeah.
So, as a general rule, IPL is actually a very comfortable procedure. It's not like your sort of lasers of the past where you needed anesthetic gels and cool packs. It's a lot more comfortable. You've both experienced. It's more like a warmth and a tingling.
Yeah, and every time you feel the little zap, I'm like, that's a hair dying.
Yeah,
It's like a good zap.
Yeah, it's kind of like a gentle elastic band flick.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not like walking in a park,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's permanent, so
Yeah,
you don't have to
absolutely.
endure
You're like,
it.
it's worth it, it's worth
Yeah,
it.
it's the same pain thresholdy level as waxing, in my opinion. But waxing you have to do every 3 weeks.
Well, exactly.
So
Absolutely. That's, I think, one of the biggest winners. I mean, we were chatting about it the other day, and we were saying, women shave, I think, on average, like 53 years in their life.
What?
And you actually spend about 58 days. So that's like a
Of
2
your
full
life.
months shaving.
Ugh.
And that's like 2 months of your
plus
life you
how
could have gone on
expensive
holiday.
razors are, and when you cut yourself.
Exactly.
and-
Definitely. I
shaving's
think
a
that's
pain.
something people don't realize is the real cost of shaving and waxing.
Yeah.
I mean, shaving, we actually did a little bit of a study ourselves, and we were saying, even if you're using the cheap disposables and a shaving foam, using about 48 Rand a month, that adds up to like, say, 576 a year. So, give it 10 years, you actually would have paid off your IPL.
Yeah, exactly.
And had smooth for life. So, no, it doesn't make
Booyah.
sense.
Booyah.
Never
and,
shave
and
again.
plus, it's no like prickly. It's like smooth. So there's none of that cactus thing going on when you're in the satin sheets and it gets stuck on your legs.
So does it actually do this? Because what you do is you go in and then you do you shave it off? I can't remember. Yeah, you
Yes,
do. You
you
shave
do.
it off
You have to
first,
shave
and then
in between. Yeah.
you shave off all the hair, and then you have the IPL, and then doesn't the hair get pushed through eventually?
That's
and
right.
then it falls
yeah.
out.
I mean, basically, if we maybe go back to what IPL stands for, it stands for intense pulsed light. So it's all about the light treating or being attracted or target to the pigment in the hair. So it's absorbed by the pigment in the hair, which then transfers the heat to the follicle and destroys it. And that's how you get your long-lasting permanent hair removal. So when we actually do the treatment, we're treating because it's going down into the root. So we do shave the area clean and then apply a gel, so we get the optimal
It's
optimum
the same gel that
transmission.
they use in ultrasounds for babies,
That's right. Yes.
which I thought was nice because I don't think I'll ever have that gel on my body otherwise.
That's correct. And then, after your treatment, what's going to happen about 1 to 2 weeks later is the hair just start to push up. So it almost looks like the hair is growing. But that hair that was actively growing at the time and then effectively treated will push out and be shed. And you'll get like a hair-free period. The hair that was in a dormant phase or a resting phase won't have been treated because the follicles would have been empty. So that will start to grow. So then you'll get a good indication of how much you got treated at that session and what's growing again. And then the next session, you're going to catch all those hairs that were dormant. You're going to catch them at the next session. And that's why we do need more
And
than
what
one
I
session.
find interesting with the Legs 11 process, because I had gone to another spa that I won't name, but they were fine and great and it was working. But what you guys said is you have a longer waiting period period between, because they've studied the hair follicle growth. And instead of saying come every month like most salons where they'll make money but maybe you won't be killing your hair follicles, I found it was quite honest and ethical of you guys, because our next appointment's only in October.
I know, I was really surprised at how long that hair cycle growth is.
And I think that's something, you know, that does set us apart at Legs 11. You know, we have brought in the latest IPL technology, the Ellipse, and they spend a lot of time with the Danish Dermatological Society studying hair growth cycles and realizing that hair grows at different rates on every part of the body. So if you're going in every month for laser or IPL hair removal, you're going too often. You're just
making money off
hair.
you. Yeah.
And it varies. So if you're doing like your underarms or bikini, you're looking at coming every 8 weeks initially, going up to 12, and your legs, as you know, you start at every 3 months and then only every 4 months at the end. So it's not a monthly expense, which is also fantastic.
So you can budget it in.
Absolutely.
And it's not too expensive anyway. So.
And maybe we can chat a little bit around that. I mean, I think one of the things that we're trying to do is we've brought this sort of revolution from Europe, this whole IPL revolution, where we're making permanent hair removal affordable to everybody.
Yes.
So we've got a single flat rate price. No matter what area of your body you treat, it's 380 Rand an area. So it really is affordable compared to
it's
your
ridiculously
amazing.
affordable.
Because usually for like a half leg at another salon, I remember seeing like 1,500 Rand or somewhere in that sort of vicinity.
Absolutely.
And
and bikini, like Brazilian-y bikini thingy, which I did at the other thing, was like 800. So, and here it's flat 380. So it's a huge difference in price.
Absolutely.
And they said there's no price between bikini or Brazilian or Californian or whichever, because it's the same area. So you can have as much or as little taken. So they're not going to charge you more just for that extra strip removal.
So how much more painful is it on the bikini versus the leg? Because it was
a lot more painful. Because I had it at a different spa, though, the bikini area.
Okay, yes, you haven't had it with us.
But I haven't had it with you guys. Yeah. But it was very effective for me, and I'm definitely going to start looking into Legs 11's taking over that responsibility.
I think we are more comfortable. I mean, obviously, you know, it is relative to everybody's pain threshold. But, you know, most clients, you know, do say, compared to waxing, it's a walk in the park.
But you see, I'd had a different experience prior, because what Legs 11 does is you don't need anesthetic creams. They actually prefer you not to take any antihistamine, anti-inflammatory histamine, I don't know, medicine. And so then, because I had put anti-inflammatory and anesthetic prior for the other one because it was painful, and so I don't know, and maybe it will be less painful then, because maybe it's a different process as well. So I don't know, but it was really sore. Like, I actually grabbed the beautician at the other place. I actually grabbed her arm at one point, and she's like, "Okay, I'll stop." And she's like, "I've had people like sit up," and like I was like, every physical being in me wanted to punch her to make her stop hurting me.
Do you know what? I thought I had quite a high pain threshold, but I had to ask Tiana to stop. She would go a couple of shots, and I was like, "Okay, it'll be okay." And then I waited to keep going.
But it's quick, at least. It's painful, but it's over fast.
It is quick, but she also said, because my hair's quite dark, that it's probably just absorbing more of the light.
And it's more death.
And I think, you know, it's you're just getting used to the sensation. I think so often people get more of a fright with the light, you know, the bright light as well. And then once you've had another treatment, you'll find it's a walk in the park.
Brilliant. Well, let's get to a song now, and then when we come back, we're going to do a little bit talking more about IPL. If you have any questions, tweet them at us, and we're also going to give away 3 free treatments.
To 3 people. So I'll tweet that question, and you need to tweet your answer to us and legs11_s. So what we were chatting about earlier is Legs 11 and IPL versus laser.
Correct, yes.
So tell us a little bit about that, because I was quite interested. To me, laser and IPL was kind of the same thing, but...
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, laser and IPL are both what we call light-based hair removal technologies. IPL is a more modern form, and basically with IPL, you can imagine the light beam is emitted over a broad spectrum of wavelengths. So it's almost like a broad prism of light in all the different colors, which means we're able to perform more treatments or different types of treatments across all the skin types on one machine. Laser, on the other hand, is a little bit like a laser pointer that you might use in a presentation. It's a single beam of light, one wavelength, one color. So with laser, you tend to have one machine specific for a specific treatment and a specific skin type.
Okay, so that's why it starts to get really expensive.
So the whole sort of move has been with IPL, it's sort of a more innovative, more modern technology, means it's a lot more affordable. And it's also more comfortable than your laser treatments of the past.
Yeah, because it's not going as deep and hardcore.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we also find, like IPL's got some other great benefits that it actually, for example, improves skin tone and texture, the pulsed light at the same time.
Yes,
and
I'm booked in for a facial on Monday with IPL Facial. So
fantastic. Skin rejuvenation.
That's what it's called.
Absolutely.
Fanciness. So we'll see what happens.
That sounds lovely. I must do that too.
Yeah, that's also, it's a fantastic
and it's affordable.
treatment.
It's $680, and it's like, that's the price of a normal facial, and the before-after photos are something to be beheld.
Absolutely.
Maybe I won't need to wear so much base anymore.
And I think, also the great thing about as technologies move forward, we've had so much more sort of scientific evidence now to show and clinical studies to show how things are working. And I think I just want to point out, obviously not all IPL and laser machines are the same. It's a generic term we use, like you say, a car. There's different makes, there's different models, and the performance and results depend on that. And we use the very latest, what we call the second generation of IPL, and it's got clinically proven to result in up to 80 to 95% permanent hair removal after 6 to 8 sessions.
Yeah.
And it's one of, I think, the only ones that has got scientific results published in medical journals. So, and all of that's available. You can actually go and check out the results and the before and after photos on our website, which is www.legs11.co.za.
Is it spelled 11 or 11?
With 11, yeah.
Okay,
nice.
legs11.co.za. And you guys are in Greenpoint there?
Correct.
Next to the
65 Main Road, Greenpoint. We're just next door to the Steers and sort of across the road from the stadium.
Yeah.
And you can pop in anytime. You can also book online, and we offer a free consultation. And I think it's important for people to know, when you're choosing a salon, that one of the big things to look at is, yes, what equipment are you using, and what sort of scientific evidence results can you prove to me that you can get?
Yeah.
Number 2, it's about the operators and the specialization. We specialize only in IPL. So our therapists, they're highly trained and experienced and qualified.
So they're not running from a pedicure
No, they're
to
not doing a
laser
mani
legs.
here and a pedi and maybe doing an IPL or a laser once or twice a day. They are doing it all day long. And by specializing, also we've got very strict treatment protocols, safety standards that we follow. And again, part of that is this initial consultation that you went through. How was your initial consultation?
It was great, but it's one of those things that you've got to say what kind of medication you've taken. And then I sort of said nothing, and then I got chatting to one of the therapists, and then I was like, crap, I took pain medication, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into it. Why is that?
Absolutely. Well, we like to be really thorough. And I think, you'll go to a lot of places, fly-by-night places, where you'll walk in the door and say, I'd like to book laser. They'll take you straight in, and they'll start doing the treatment on you without a proper assessment. And I would be very dubious as a customer if I wasn't having at least a 30-minute consultation beforehand to be asking things exactly like that, like what medications you're on. It's not they're not a lot of contraindicated medications, but for example, Reaccutane, which is quite common for acne nowadays.
This is true.
We can't treat you with IPL or laser while you're on Reaccutane because it does make your skin very fragile, and you're at a lot more danger of a risk of side effects.
You would fry that person.
Yeah, you could get scarring. Yeah, you could certainly damage the skin. And then it's things like sun exposure, because obviously it's a light-based treatment, so we need to be aware that you can't be in the sun or sunbeds or using self-tan beforehand for usually we say about 4 weeks.
Which hurts me because I love self-tan. And I keep thinking, I can get a spray. Wait, I have to organize it around my laser IPL treatment.
Exactly. Go for IPL, then spray tan.
Yeah. So you can do it after the fact.
Absolutely.
It's fine.
Absolutely.
Because the pigment that it does to your skin doesn't actually hurt.
Yeah. No, it's more about just as long as you've exfoliated it off.
Yeah, because otherwise
the
the IPL is going to be zapping the spray, the tan.
Absolutely.
I don't
and then we
understand
also
this
do
whole
the patch test.
Shut
so
up,
you would have
naturally
had
brown
that.
person.
Yes, you do the patch test just to see if your skin is going to react in a
Absolutely,
positive
and also
light.
to find the optimal settings, because everybody's unique, and that's why we offer the consultation. Everyone's skin type is unique, everyone's hair type is unique.
And
so we
pain
assess
threshold.
that, and then we find the optimal settings on our machine so that you're going to get the best results.
What is the optimal skin tone to hair sort of, I don't know, color ratio?
Well, one of the best things about the second generation of IPL is we can treat all skin types, from your European to your African skins. Because it is working on the pigment, however, in the hair, and where we also have the same pigment melanin in our skin. So the candidate that is going to get the ultimate results is going to be the person with the lighter skin and the darker hair.
Me.
However, yes, that's you.
That's why I'm
However,
having
that
such
doesn't
good
mean you're
results.
not going to get great results.
No,
It's
of
just
course.
you know that you're aiming more for the 95%.
But gingers and blondes,
Yes,
sorry for
that's-
you.
Yeah, I think we just need to mention with all light-based treatments, we do need pigment in the hair.
Yeah.
So we're unable to treat grey hair
And
or
albinos.
true red hair
Uh-huh.
and true blonde hair. And I know we do get a lot of clients saying, "Oh, I'm blonde, you can't treat me." Sorry, but actually, you're more like light brown down
It
there.
doesn't match the drapes.
Yeah, we'll pluck a few hairs and look at the roots. Because if it's a little bit of color, we can treat you.
Brilliant, hilarious. So much personal chatting here. We're getting some funny tweets. Spilly, who is a ginger, so he is not a candidate, he said women should be smooth everywhere, all over. And then Jess, obese, tweeted back, except their backs. Which, obviously, she is kidding, but it's entertaining. So if you want to win a treatment at the Legs 11 in Greenpoint, then tweet us one word why you want to be hair-free, right?
Yes, something like, I don't know, smooth, sexy.
Sexy, yeah. Don't
Always
just say
ready.
sex. Yeah, exactly. Never be taken by surprise. Because sometimes you're on a date, you're like, I didn't expect it to go this well. I never shaved my legs. I'm just joking. I'm so not that person.
My co-host is not a hussy.
Yeah,
I promise.
Kamini just gave me a look. But in the movies where you're like, well, sometimes if you go on a date with a guy you like, but you don't want to be a hussy, that's when you don't shave your legs. Because then you know you won't let him touch you. But now we're going to all just be prepared.
And you wonder if men ever think of those things
I know.
before the date. I don't think so.
Well, men are just hoping. We at least have a choice. That used to be a Savannah ad. When a man goes out, he wonders if he's going to score. A woman already knows. We can just decide.
This is true. Okay, well, tweet at us.
So we've got our first winner that we've decided, and we're going to talk a little bit around, what she's, talking about. Because Monique, from her Twitter name is @LeonDerm. She says, "Oh my word, 2 girls on mic. I get the most horrific shaving rash. It's ghastly. I only do it twice a month. I wear pants always."
Shame.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I the underarm and stuff. Like when you have to grow it out to wax, it's she has to wear pants all the time. And in winter, it's not a problem, but in summer with underarm and stuff, when you have to wear strapless tops,
She should have the freedom to wear what she wants.
exactly. So we're gonna give her a introductory IPL voucher for the first
That's
session
fantastic.
free.
Yeah, I mean,
Booyah.
it's the shaving bumps and the nicks and the cuts and the dark stubble and the prickliness, like we were saying. You know, just why we've been shaving. I think they've been shaving since the Bronze Age. With flint. Come on, people, it's time to move on.
Yeah.
Even interesting enough, even waxing. They had sugaring, which is like a waxing, and depilatory cream is back with the ancient Egyptians.
What?
So I'm we need
So
to
hair's
evolve.
been hated its whole
we need
Get
to
with the
evolve
program.
now and move forward. Yeah, it's not necessary to carry on with the pain of waxing and the expense.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
we were chatting about the expense of it. What are the actual stats?
Absolutely. I mean, just we did a little bit of a fun sort of research study where we looked at just a Brazilian wax, for example. And there's a lot of people out there that are dedicated Brazilian waxers. And I mean, if you're paying sort of 180 or 190 Rand a month, so maybe you're waxing every 3 to 4 weeks, and we took an average over a year, you're spending about 190 Rand or so. So you're looking over sort of a year period of about, just over 2,200 Rand. So just by doing IPL or a course of 6 sessions, you've paid off
Yeah.
what you would spend on a year of waxing.
It makes
So when
complete
people
sense.
think, oh, but it's so expensive, it's not.
Yes.
But the worst thing is when you actually look, if you carry on with your waxing for the rest of your life, so say you do the Brazilian wax for your 50 years of hair removal, you're looking at about a 200,000 Rand cost.
Insane.
You could buy a car.
Plus inflation in 5 years is going to be more expensive than 180 anyway.
Absolutely.
So, geez.
Absolutely.
Jeez.
And IPL is a lot gentler on the skin. And like we said, it actually helps the skin. It actually
Yeah.
improves the skin
And
tone and
ingrown
texture.
hairs are gone.
Yeah, and we have a lot of clients coming in that have a lot of scarring from waxing, pigmentation and other issues from waxing as well.
We were also talking about how your collagen decreases in your skin as you get older. So surely waxing would speed that process up because you're kind of being quite harsh and you're pulling on the skin.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it can do a lot of damage to probably to the elastin fibers. I haven't really looked into it, but it would make sense to me. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
And I mean, obviously, we were chatting a little bit earlier about the skin rejuvenation. One of the other sides where we can use IPL, where we actually have a different wavelength that we use. And instead of the pulsed light targeting the pigment in the hair, it targets pigment on the face, so we can help to treat like freckles and sort of uneven pigmentation and skin tone. And also, even better, is that the heat goes down into the dermal layer and stimulates the cells we call the fibroblasts, and they release new collagen. And that collagen comes up to the surface and plumps up the skin, and you get this amazing, like you said, the before and after photos, this refreshed, younger, rejuvenated look.
Because it was mostly the photos are mostly like 50 plus people, and when you get those like blood vessels and it goes a little bit red on the cheeks and everything, so that all goes away, and then suddenly they get more glowy and like less wrinkly and
less wrinkly is a-okay for me.
Yeah, I mean, we're only 30, but prevention is better than cure.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think our message is exactly that. And to Monique, never shave again.
Yes.
Come and do IPL.
But you do have to shave in between IPL.
Yes, you do, yes.
And rather than wax, because the hair growth has to
Absolutely.
get regulated.
And I think that's a myth. People often think, oh, do I have to grow my hair? Like waxing. No, you don't.
You don't.
You
can shave that day
in
if you
between.
want. Yeah.
And then each time you come, you're going to have less and less and less hair. And the hair, even the hair that's growing back that hasn't been treated at that session, because we mentioned about it being in a resting phase, it's still going to be a lot thinner and lighter
new
in
hair.
color. Yes, because it's new. And then eventually you'll get to a point where you just have one or two odd little stray hairs, and smooth for life.
What's happened to my underarms is I've had some IPL before. There's probably about 7 hairs on my underarms, but they get really long and like gangly. It's kind of weird, but there's only 7 of them.
Exactly. And you could probably come and have one more session and
exactly
and
that's
them
the plan.
off as well. Catch those.
Hilarious. I'm gonna move on to my chin eventually when I get up the nerve. So, because when I get older, it's a curse in my family. My granny has a hairy chin.
Ooh.
And it's been a terror of me getting older. But now I know that my IPL is there to rescue me.
You don't want to be like my aunt with the hairy mole, because
Yes,
you have the
'cause you
hairy
can't
chin,
IPL
and then you'll
a
kiss
mole.
people on your cheek, and then it'll scratch them.
You need to give her a pair of tweezers with a pink bow. That's all her solution is. But we're going to keep announcing winners for the rest of the day, I think. We're going to give it fair and free chance for people to tweet in. So well done to Leanne Derm, or Monique, as your name is. And other than that, keep tweeting. And thanks so much for coming in and talking to us.
And if you want to come and see us, you can either pop into the salon, like we mentioned, at 65 Main Road, Greenpoint, Legs 11. You won't miss us. We've got very big pairs of legs from the road. Otherwise, we're also at the Pink Expo, the Pink Lifestyle Expo at the Sea Point Civic Centre.
Which is on this weekend,
It's
and no
on
one
this
knows
whole
about
weekend.
it.
We are there already. Come and visit us. Lots of fun, lots of things happening there, and we're giving away more prizes. So definitely.
And it's a gay expo, so your slogan is Harry, not hairy.
That's right. Come meet Harry, not hairy.
Nice.
And like I said, also you can catch up with us or ask us any questions also on Twitter. It's at Legs11, the word SA. And we're also on Facebook at Legs11.
You guys are all up in the social media
We
stuff,
are
and they're on it. They email you as soon as you make a booking.
No, really, you guys are super, super efficient. There's like no way to figure out when and how and whatever.
We don't let you slip through the gaps.
No.
We make sure you're there.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, thanks so much for taking time, and we'll be talking to you again soon in a couple of weeks to follow up on the hair deaths on our legs.
Great. I look forward to it.
Awesome.
Great. Thanks for having me.
Cheers.
Bye.